Jackson say, I want to see what a proven assistant brings to me, and then I want to see – he screwed up having Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr had to come in and fix it. Like, Mark Jackson was the coach of the Warriors before they took off, and he didn't know what to do with he had Monte Ellis and Steph Curry, and he didn't know how to win with that group. And obviously other players were at it, but that's Mark Jackson's claim to fame, is he wasn't good enough to coach with those teams. So 844-770-3776. Do you have an issue with the Milwaukee Bucks interviewing everyone? If you interview everyone, does that mean you're interviewing no one?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I kind of feel right now, right? And there's a couple names on this list that would get me excited, right? Kenny Atkinson leading the way of the list you just read off of the confirmed interviews right now. But a lot of these guys don't have championship experience. Monty Williams does, but what happened when he was in the finals, Jim? The Bucks beat him, right? Frank Vogel won in the bubble, but he got fired, got pushed out by LeBron because he wasn't cutting it in LeBron's eyes, and that's a generational superstar like Giannis is. So a lot of these names don't excite me, right? Scott Brooks is an interesting name, but I don't think that's an upgrade from Budenholzer. I don't view a lot of these names as an upgrade from Budenholzer. The thing he struggled with was in-game adjustments. One guy that's thrived in that department, whose name isn't on this list, is a name we've talked about from the get-go from the situation. That's Nick Nurse, right? That was, of course, the guy that shadowed Giannis in that Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago, made a lot of in-game adjustments on how to defend Giannis, and that was something that Bud lacked. That was always the knock on Budenholzer and what ultimately led to his ousting in Milwaukee. But a lot of these names don't get me excited, and I don't really know what direction they're headed in. It seems like they're going to roll through 37 interviews before they even have an idea of their top five. So I like that. I guess they're doing their due diligence, but it just seems like they're throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. And I don't think that's a good direction for an organization that has championship expectations, win now type expectations. I just don't feel that sense of urgency in the search. And maybe I'm by myself on that island, but that's the way I feel looking at this list.
Joe Pruntney was one person who was interviewed the last time they were up for this job when they hired Budenholzer. Monty Williams was. They also interviewed David Blatt, Steve Clifford, Becky Hammond, and Ettore Messina were some names that were interviewed. I don't know who all those players, those coaches are, but pulling off the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel article when they hired Budenholzer. So this is what they did last time. And they did say that they were going to try to basically respect the process and meet with as many people as possible to make sure they're getting the right head coach. And I understand that. The concern is some of these names are complete Fs. And I tweeted this out at Jim Rutledge, and I basically said, now I'm starting to get nervous because if you're interviewing these guys, that means there's a chance. Yeah. And I don't want to live in a world where Mark Jackson or Kelvin Sampson or Scott Brooks is the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. That, to me, is 1,000 times worse than Charles Lee. And Charles Lee might be good, but Charles Lee is an unproven assistant and could be, forget even sounding to the fans. Why did they let Budenholzer go? And Alex, I think you made one, common mistake now the fans are making. That in today's NBA, doesn't matter about being better than Budenholzer. Be equal but different. Like, that's what they need. They need a different voice.
I mean, being equal means you win a title, right?
But Monty Williams was, and the Budenholzer title, and I don't need a title for the head coach to be given the job because Giannis, and I've said this before, this is not taking away what Budenholzer did, but he was the same coach year in and year out in a good way. He's a very consistent coach. And then Giannis had one of the most dominant playoff performances in NBA history, and that, along with Budenholzer and the rest of the team, got them a title. And that's not negating what Budenholzer did because he was the team. He put this team in position here. But this was also a team. I'm not saying it's a knock against Budenholzer, but if Durant's foot is a little smaller, he's fired. So I'm saying he's not irreplaceable. You could bring in Kenny Atkinson. You could bring in some of these coaches. You could bring in maybe even Adrian Griffin, and you might sell me on it that these coaches are his equal because X, Y, and Z, and they are worthwhile. But you can't sell me on Kelvin Sampson, on Mark Jackson, and Scott Brooks. There's just some that you cannot sell me on. Others I'll buy, but you cannot sell, forget me, the players on someone like Kelvin Sampson or Mark Jackson. Those scream Jason Kidd type screw-ups. Go ask Dallas
I agree.
What happens when you think you're smarter than everyone else, and you bring in a bum like Jason Kidd. Milwaukee knows what a bum Jason Kidd is, so you don't want to make that sort of mistake. And that's the concern I have, is that you run the risk of falling in love with an inept coach, because it's not about doing better. Doc Rivers was fired, Monty Williams fired, Nick Nurse was fired. All these coaches are, I think, equals of Budenholzer. They're just different flavors of it, and some have a little bit more on their resume, some have less, some have done it more recently, but they're all kind of the same. But sometimes maybe you need something different to unlock this locker room or what they think it's going to be.
Yeah, you're right about that. Look, I mean, when it comes to winning a championship, you need to meet three qualities, right? Or three, you need to check three things off the list. Number one is you need to be good. The Bucks are that year in and year out. Number two, you need to be healthy. The last 2 years, that has not been the case for the Bucks in the postseason. Giannis gets hurt this year. Last year, obviously, they lose Chris Middleton in the postseason, and ultimately they lose in the second round to the Celtics in 7 games. And the third is you need to be lucky, right? You need things to go wrong for other teams. You need to have the correct path in front of you. All three of those things were met in 2021 for the Bucks. That just hasn't been the case the last 2 years. You need to be good. You need to be healthy. You need to get lucky. That is the formula for every championship team in the NBA, and it's a lot easier said than done. But that's what you need, and that's the way things broke off for the Bucks in 2021. You look back in 2019 for the Toronto Raptors, right? They were a good team, but they also caught some breaks in the finals against the Warriors, and they were healthy. So it's those three things you need to check off the list, and it's a lot easier said than done. But Mike Budenholzer got that in 2021. Look, I still don't love that he was fired. I'll be honest with you. I didn't love it then. I still don't love it now because, to your point, maybe you don't necessarily need an upgrade, but you need something fresh and you need a good coach. Bottom line, you need a very good coach. And I'm not in love with a lot of these names that are on the list right now, but we'll find out. We'll hopefully in the next week or two have some sense of a direction the Bucks are heading. The nice thing is they have time, right? The season doesn't start for another 5 months, so they have time to figure this out. Especially if it's a guy like Kenny Atkinson, which obviously the Warriors are out now, but you've got time.
Well, no, you got to know.
I'm not saying wait until July 4th, but
I mean, you said months from now. You need to know before NBA free agency gets going.
Well, right, but you've got time. And like I just said, the season doesn't start for another.
Well, that's when you
months.
went to the season. You need someone long before the season. You got 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks,
right, which is a lot of time
to hire someone here.
Considering that they've done 67 interviews already.
Now, part of this is in today's. You got Woj out there. He's connected. Today's day and age, information is power. Every little interview you do is going to be important. And are some of these interviews? Forget a favor to Kelvin Sampson. Who's his agent? Is this a favor to someone's agent to get his name on a list to get paid more by Houston? And these are the sort of things that happen within the NBA. I care more about the second round of interviews. And where does that go? Because kicking the tires on all these guys, if it comes through that they talk to Brooks and Sampson and Mark Jackson and all these fringe-level candidates, but by the time – the only person that got a second interview is Atkinson and Griffin, and maybe they talked to Nick Nurse, and maybe Nick Nurse has just moved past this first round of interviews.
That's
too.
Fair.
So there's plenty of different ways to look at it. Dave the Deerfield idiot chimes in. Rivers, Brooks, Sampson, and Jackson don't do it for me. Atkinson, national media first. Sorry, Jim, you're not first on him. I don't know if I was first on him or not, but I've been.
You were early.
I was early. I wasn't claiming to be first, though, either. I'm not. I love the NBA, but I'm not an NBA guy. He said Williams sounds okay. The Adam and Madison chimes in. Kind of agree with Strofe. It'd be less unnerving if we could get 4 or 5 names that they're really focusing on rather than interviewing anyone with an open time slot that's been around basketball. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they didn't screw up Budenholzer in hiring him, but also, Alex, more than ever, they didn't screw up firing him. These good coaches are being fired after him.
Totally.
Successfully. This is not some sort of rash thing. This is par for the NBA. And it
is par for the NBA, but it is at a new level this year, right? You look at, the top 3 winningest teams since 2020 have all fired their head coach. And it's just different, right?
Yeah.
There's so many teams with massive superstars, right? You look at Philly and Joel Embiid. You look at Phoenix with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You look at Milwaukee with Giannis and company. There was just these massive openings. Because this feels rare in that regard, but I understand your point. It is par for the course.
This is more commonplace because now all those coaches have been fired. The ones who've won Coach of the Year the last couple years outside of Steve Kerr have all been let go, basically. So when you look at it, this is the new NBA, and it goes back to LeBron and the player empowerment side of things, and it goes back to our original conversation with Giannis. Giannis is on a clock. You might not believe he is, but the Bucks think he is. The Bucks know that they are on a clock with Giannis. They can't screw this up. They can't dink around and have another year of maybe it'll work with Budenholzer. Because realistically, if you look at Budenholzer in the playoffs, the title year was the outlier. Every other year, he's failed to perform. And you can find reasons why, but and go all the way back to Atlanta. And now they didn't have the star, but there were years there were the 1 seed, and they get bounced in the second round, or I think even in the first round.
Yeah.
He has been a playoff underperformer his entire career outside of that title. That's why he was tracking to be fired before that title. And I like Budenholzer as a person. I think he was a good coach. You could do a lot worse than him. Mark Jackson, Kelvin Sampson, Scott Brooks. You could do a lot worse than Budenholzer, and he will quickly have a job. I think he might be interviewing in Philadelphia.
He is, yeah.
But new voice, and you got to have the right guy for this team. And that's where we're trying to figure out. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. We're presented by Coors Light. We're live from the Forward Club. Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
What's your thing? Are you looking for a new, refreshing, sunny ale to ring in the summer? Or do you want to turn it up with a big, hoppy IPA? No matter the style, Sierra Nevada's Little Things Party Pack has something for everybody. Crack open a couple of IPAs with the original hazy or the big imperial. Then bask in the sunny citrus wheat and wild sour ales. Enjoy 4 styles in 12 cans with Sierra Nevada's Little Things Party Pack today.
Listen to me along with Matt Hamilton every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win a case of Sierra Nevada's Little Things Party Pack. The gold medal-worthy variety pack features 4 styles, 12 cans, and endless good times. Whether you like the hoppy IPAs, crisp ales, you'll enjoy anything in this party in a pack. Listen every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win some free beer. This month, it's Sierra Nevada's Little Things Party Pack. 2:45 every single Thursday.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text LION to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text LION to 321321. That's LION to 321321.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Looking for your next spot out with family or friends? Head to one of Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company's 4 locations in the Madison area. Whether you're on the east side, downtown, in Fitchburg, or at Hilldale, you're sure to enjoy one of Madison's favorite traditions. Head to GreatDanePub.com to find a location near you. Always local, always welcoming, and always committed to the craft. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by X Golf in Madison and Middleton.
Giannis, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks, can sign a 3-year, $173 million extension or a 2-year, $118 million extension with the Bucks starting September 22nd. Although that is unlikely to happen, I wouldn't freak out. It's not because he wouldn't want to sign with the team. It has to do with a little bit of, I think, procedural. As the new collective bargaining is updated, I think he can make more money by waiting, is the way I understand it. So it seems unlikely that he'll sign this extension on September 22nd, 3 years, $173, which would basically lock him in for his prime. Now, Alex Stroh said before the break, there's no way Giannis would go anywhere, but let's not forget that Giannis
did not. That's not what I said.
You said that it was more likely that Giannis is here the next 2 years than you waking up tomorrow morning. Now, Giannis did not sign, you said he was built differently, but Giannis did not sign his deal with the Milwaukee Bucks to stay, this latest extension, until they mortgaged their future, rightfully, to bring in Drew Holiday. Then he signed. Giannis is loyal, but he's not an idiot.
Yeah, that's fair. But
which goes back to this coach hire being incredibly important.
It is, by all means. But when you look at Giannis, right, he signed a contract to be here through at the least the 24-25 season. He's going to honor that. That's just how he is. It's just I mean, you can laugh, but you could point to every example in NBA history. But so is Giannis. Right, like he is not the normal superstar. I don't know why you're laughing.
24-25 seasons. That we
the player option is after the 20. So he's technically
a free agent after
he could opt in 25-26.
He's not going to do that.
I mean, I agree
he's loyal,
with you.
He's not an idiot.
He'll extend.
He'll be a free agent after 24-25. That is his last season. 24-25 under his current contract is his last season with the Bucks. And I don't want to make this about Giannis leaving the Bucks, but he's loyal, but he's not an idiot. And the older you get, the more you want to spread your wings, but more importantly, win another title. And the Bucks right now are at a make or break point with their franchise. And I think that's the part that we're trying to wash away by Giannis is too loyal, he's never going to leave. He's loyal, but he's not an idiot. And here's the thing. They have to figure out what they're doing with Chris Middleton, and that's number one, or Drew Holiday. They have to move one of these two players. Chris Middleton, younger than Drew Holiday, but seems to have far more, I would say, mileage on his body and maybe less room for athletic error the way he plays. He's not a super athletic player to begin with, so any sort of loss of athleticism could bring his game down some, and that's been evident the last 2 years. As far as his contested mid-range jumpers, you can get it to the advanced analytics. He's gone from elite to fine, but you can't pay fine or good $40 million plus per year going forward. So that's one guy you have to figure out. Are you going to roll the dice and bring him back and expect health that he hasn't had the last 2 years? I don't know the right answer in it. Chris Middleton, when he is healthy, is a all-star caliber player. Then you have Drew Holiday. And so do you try to move one of those players to get multiple good but not great players? Do you try to bring in draft picks to try to get this thing restarted on the fly and bring in some young guys? I don't think you can make that happen in this draft. But they're on a timeline. And then they also have to get the right coach for the job. John Horst is either going to end up getting a statue outside of Pfizer Forum with this or get fired. Because either he's going to figure out how to do it, and he's going to keep Giannis, he's going to hire the right coach, he's going to retool this roster, and this team is going to be smooth sailing the rest of the way, or he's going to be out of a job. I'm hoping for, and all evidence points the Horst is good at his job, I'm hoping for he figures it out and everyone's happy. Giannis is not going to leave if this team makes the Eastern Conference Finals next season or the next 2 years. That's not going to get him gone. I'm saying if they screw this up, though, they could be a team that's losing early in the playoffs, and then Giannis is going to look at it.
Yeah, you're right. And John Horst, I think all signs point to he is good at his job. But the other fact of this is there is new ownership, right? Jimmy Haslam is now in play. And how does he manage a team? Our example from the NFL side of things is, well, it's an absolute dumpster fire, right? I mean, you look at the Cleveland Browns, and you know for a fact he has not done a good job as an owner there. So what does that bring into this? How does he manage a guy like John Horst, and what is his fingerprints on this coaching hiring process? So there is more to this than maybe we've dove into, but I overall, I don't know, man. I think you're right. I think Giannis is safe as long as they don't screw this up, because they are in a win-now mode. And this is even before Coach Bud was fired, we talked about how crucial of an offseason this is for the Bucks, given all the pieces. Who do they bring back? Who's gone? What is the new look for this team in 2023-24? Because it's not going to be the rollover like they had last year into this past season.
You mentioned Jimmy Haslam. I just started freaking out because I feel like I don't want any part of Miles Bridges here. I mean, that's who Jimmy Haslam is. He's got it brought in Deshaun Watson. That's not what I want here in Wisconsin. I don't want bad people like Deshaun Watson or Miles Bridges brought to try to win some games. That I don't want around. So when you look at it with the Bucks, they clearly, whether it was directly from Giannis or a feeling that they had or from Giannis's camp, they have already told themselves, we can't run it back. They already knew, because the whole purpose in John Horst's life as a GM is to keep Giannis happy and in Milwaukee for as long as possible. That is every breath he takes, because Giannis is loyal, but he's not an idiot. So he feels some pressure because he knew, I can't run it back one more time with Coach Budenholzer and give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't have that sort of leeway.
Yeah.
He knew that. He knows that.
Yeah.
So that's already move one. And now the other moves come here. Now, I'm not saying Bucks fans should.
But do you remember, I mean, this is how different Giannis is, right? Like, do you remember back when Jason Kidd was fired, how upset he was about that? Because that was his guy, right? And he just thought there was no way they could replace him. Now, he's been through this already, so it doesn't seem like he's reacting the same way with Budenholzer as he did with Jason Kidd. Maybe it helps they won a title together. Maybe he knew, for years, obviously, you point back to the 21 postseason, when they won the title. If Kevin Durant's shoe was a size smaller or a half size smaller, Budenholzer's out of a job then. So maybe he was under the understanding, if this season, although Giannis doesn't view it this way, if this postseason is a failure, Budenholzer's gone, now he is. He hasn't really said much in regards to it outside of a heartfelt thank you post.
And again, these are not – again, this is more of, I think, Horst understanding the landscape of the NBA. Look, there's people in Golden State who think that Steph's going to end up his career in Charlotte because that's where his dad played, that at some point Steph's going to want to be there. That the NBA, LeBron was going to have his jersey retired by 2, maybe 3 teams. It's just Aaron Rodgers wasn't going any. It wasn't that long ago he said he wanted to retire Green Bay Packer. Now, Giannis is such a better overall.
Apples to oranges,
right,
my man.
But he said that not that long ago until Jordan Love was picked.
But again, he said it after Jordan Love was picked, first off.
So you can never say never.
Right, but you're comparing Aaron Rodgers' reliability to Giannis Antetokounmpo's reliability.
But I'm saying
you understand what you're saying,
before
right?
Jordan Love was picked, you would have been here. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is playing anywhere but Green Bay.
I thought that last offseason, but once again, this is Aaron Rodgers versus Giannis,
But
Jim.
Aaron Rodgers wasn't this Aaron Rodgers until they drafted Jordan Love. That's what we forget. People change. They age.
I refuse to believe Giannis will ever change. I refuse to believe it.
He already has, man.
But he wasn't like a Cali grown-up but
he already has
surf
changed.
bro like Rodgers. Dude, he grew up overseas. He came here. He's grateful for the opportunity to even have the opportunity.
So he has to be
they're not even close to the same
So he has
people.
to be a moron?
Why would he be a moron for staying in Milwaukee?
If the Bucks screw it up, then he's done. The team is cooked. They have nowhere to go. That's the point. If they screw this up, their cap is locked, and now they don't have a coach, and Giannis is going to walk away because the Bucks just froze their car. That would be stupid. That's why he's loyal but not an idiot. They have an opportunity right now to fix it. If they don't fix it, they're cooked for a while and they can't win. Look at the NBA. You have to have these players. It's not that hard to figure out. Giannis is loyal, but he's not an idiot. Horst, I think we can believe in him to get this done. But he also has a lot of pressure, and he knows it. That's why he fired Budenholzer, that he can't screw this up. Look at how few dynasties and how rare it is for a player to stay on a team that doesn't win titles. It is incredibly rare. Kawhi Leonard left, Paul George, all these players who are really great, Kevin Durant, loyal, not loyal, good guy, not good guy. There's nothing wrong with moving around. It's just the NBA. They know there's a time frame on the NBA, what you can do because of the salary cap. It'll lock it up.
Who had the biggest influence on Giannis's career, NBA career? Who had, in terms of players, who had the biggest influence on him? Guy he quotes every day. Kobe Bryant. How many teams did Kobe Bryant play for?
When was that?
When was what?
When did Kobe Bryant retire?
Kobe Bryant retired 5 years ago, but who does Giannis still quote every day?
That's fine and dandy. That doesn't mean you all right. You are so funny to me. You just don't acknowledge the rest of the NBA. Fine,
because Giannis isn't like the rest of the NBA. And if we ignore that,
I'll bet you $500 that Giannis doesn't finish his career with the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's not the bet we're going with. I bet you $500 Giannis is a buck in 2 years.
I'll bet you $500. Wait, so
you're telling me he's not going to be here? You said there's a better chance he leaves than I wake up tomorrow.
No, you said in 2 years. My whole point was, and again, you're not listening, which is not uncommon. It's a 100% chance he plays for the Milwaukee Bucks next year. If they screw it up, that 100% goes down to maybe 80%. That's what I said. You're trying to extrapolate it out to he's leaving. I'm saying he's not signing his extension. If it goes to 100 to 80, and then he's gone, then he walks and he's traded. In 2 years, if they screw this up, that's my whole point. Giannis isn't going to sit here if they screw it up. He's 100% on the team next year, and he'll be 80% on the team the following year. That's the 2 years. If they screw it up, they might have to trade him in year 2 to maximize value. That's not out of the question. There's a 20% chance that could happen if they screw up this year. If they don't screw it up, I'll make the bet with you after I see what John Horst does. I have to see what he does. If he doesn't screw it up, then it's fine. My whole point is if he screws it up.
Well, they've interviewed everybody with a pulse. I think there's a very low chance they screw it up.
Well, there's that part of it. But more importantly, you have to figure out the roster because it's old. It looks old.
Yeah, I mean that's priority 2 this offseason.
That's
right?
actually, for me, 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't care who coaches
Honestly,
the team.
that's fair.
It's old. Like, Grayson Allen is not athletic, so it's either old or unathletic. You have Chris Middleton, who unfortunately looks past his prime. Maybe he bounces back. That's what they know that we don't. They know his medicals. They know what he can do. Drew Holiday is 31, 32 years old, and then Lopez is older. I love Bobby Portis. He's 28. He's athletic for the rest of us, but he's not. They need athleticism, and they need youth, and they need three-point shooting. Is that all?
Yeah, probably not, to be honest with you. I mean, look, it was a total failure this
and then
year,
you look
despite
at
what my favorite person in the world, Giannis Antetokounmpo, said is loyal to a fault and will continue to be loyal, and he will be a buck in 2024, 2025. Thank you very much.
What about 25, 26?
He probably won't opt in. To your point, he's not an idiot, but he'll be here. I mean, I'm confident he'll be here.
You're confident in John Horst?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's similar, and obviously it's apples to oranges here as well, but like it's kind of like the NCAA, right? With all this NIL and transfer portal, you're recruiting your own players every day. That's also the superstar effect in the NBA, where John Horst is still recruiting Giannis, even though he has him under contract for at least another 2 years. He's still recruiting him every single day. Will he finish his career in Milwaukee? That I'm not confident in, but his NBA career is going to last another 10 years at least.
We'll talk about it more on the other side. We're not that far apart. I think John Horst will fix this, but if he doesn't, that's when
it sounds like we're $500 apart.
Well, I want to see what he does. Because here's the thing: I could put it like this: if the Bucks don't make the Eastern Conference Finals the next 2 years, Giannis is gone. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't accept anything less than your best self. If you're feeling more run down than you did when you were younger, struggling to lose weight, losing muscle tone, trouble sleeping, and loss of libido can all be signs that you need to see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. Jim Rutledge here. Change your life and see if hormone optimization is right for you. Don't settle for less than the best. Go to Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com or give them a call at 608-709-8089.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CAR3 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CAR3 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code CAR3 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. Cash back's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Marco Siki's 5th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 20th on the Madison Chain of Lakes to benefit the American Family Children's Hospital and the UW Carbone Cancer Center. Check in at the Alliant Energy Center at 7 a.m. Fishing starts at 8, happy hour at 2:30, then dinner and auction at 3:30. It's a great day for fishing and fundraising on Saturday, May 20th. Register now and check out the online auction at castingforkids.org. That's casting, the number 4kids.org.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America. 200 food banks strong.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Miss Polly side, come on over tonight. Keep on saying it over and over again. Giannis is loyal, but he's not an idiot. I'm Jim Rutledge. Rutledge is an idiot guy. I already call him an idiot. Chiming in. Let me guess. If the Bucks screwed up, Giannis is gone.
It's amazing, though, Jimmy, how there's no Strofe is an idiot guys texting in. Just Rutledge is an idiot guys. Isn't that fascinating to you?
Nobody cares what you have to say.
I don't think that's what it is.
I understand. Nobody cares enough.
I just don't think anybody thinks I'm an idiot.
No, you just placate. You're feeding the Pollyanna fan base out there. He's Alex Strofe. I'm Jim Rutledge.
Pollyanna?
Now, here's what I want to say. And so when I'm talking about this Bucks hire, and this is how we got there, and they're interviewing a lot of coaches, and Alex is upset about it. I don't disagree. That it's not good optics when it seems like you're just interviewing everyone. It's good business. It's not a bad
Yeah, like you're
move.
covering your ass in case of, like in case somebody pops out of nowhere. But optically, it looks to me, as a fan of the Bucks, it looks to me like you have no idea what you want.
And for me, it's more the Mark Jackson, Kelvin Sampson.
It's like going on Tinder and just swiping right on everybody, right? Like, I'm just going to swipe right until somebody really sticks out to me. Like, that's what I feel like the Bucks are doing. And I don't like that.
Well, and again, I'm fine if they had 2 paths, if they had a type. If they wanted to go with your Tinder analogy here, if they wanted to go with the type that said, I want a proven head coach that either has championship pedigree as a head or an assistant coach who's also been a head coach, like a Kenny Atkinson or a Scott Brooks, or I want a really highly thought of assistant like Chris Quinn from a really great team, Miami assistant. It's the Mark Jacksons and the Kelvin Sampsons of the world that make it really weird. And here's...
Yeah, I honestly, I think, and I said this a bit earlier for just joining us, but the Kelvin Sampson one more to me seems like, hey, let's do you a favor, but also like, we can't sit here and act like he hasn't had success, right? It's a mid-major conference that Houston plays in, and they've been a number 1 seed, I think, each of the last 2 years in the NCAA tournament. So, but it obviously is very different levels, right? The transition from college to NBA works out better in basketball. It usually never works out in college football to the NFL, but
it's still pretty rare.
He was a former assistant in Milwaukee, so I think it's more of, hey, let's do you a favor. Let's see how you've grown since you've been here, and that's it.
I actually think you're thinking too much into it. We'll help you get a payday.
Well, he already got an extension before he interviewed.
He can get more.
Jim
Harbaugh.
He's now the 14th. He's the 14th highest paid college basketball coach in all of college basketball.
Every year
that changed last week.
He can still get more. I mean, but who knows? This interview could have been scheduled. He might have told them last week, "Hey, I got an interview with the Bucks," and now Woj broke it. Like, I guarantee this is also a agent play for Kelvin Sampson. I promise you that the agent is involved in this. I would say it's probably more of a favorite. When was Sampson here?
That I don't know off the top of my head.
Because was he here with this ownership group? Was he here with this staff?
I don't know.
So they're not going to do a favor to a guy that wasn't around when they were around. But his agent could be interesting. It could be a favor to his agent.
He was here from 08 to 11.
That's a long time ago. I don't know.
I think that's post-owners or pre-ownership change.
Yeah, so I don't know favor. I don't know who's here from that window. It's probably a favor to an agent. It's probably a favor to maybe someone around the team knows Kelvin Sampson. Maybe it gives them more insight on a draft pick in the future. It's definitely, I feel like that's transactional. Whatever the transaction is, it's transactional there. But if you don't think the Bucks are at least worried about Giannis's happiness, then take your head out of the sand. Because Giannis didn't sign his first extension until they traded for Drew Holiday. Then he signed that extension. Giannis is loyal. He's not an idiot. They fired Budenholzer because they knew they couldn't just run it back one more time. Because they know that Giannis can sign his extension September 22nd. He's likely not to do that because, again, for contract purposes, he'll make a little bit more money if he waits a little bit longer. So I wouldn't read too much into that. And for the first time, I didn't think Giannis was leaving the first time. So don't lump me in with, you're all mad at ESPN. Don't lump me in with that. I'm a Bucks fan. I want Giannis to be here. But I think that you are borderline insane if you think that Giannis is just here forever. Or just guaranteed here the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, if they start pulling awful moves, of course, right? Like anybody that works in their job for a long time, if the management changes and they're making horrible decisions, it's a no-brainer,
but
right?
It's not long time,
Go
Alex.
to greener pastures.
But it's not long time. If they
It's been here 10 years.
But I'm saying if
could have left a long time ago.
But you got to look at a contract.
Signed 2 extensions since he's been here.
Right, contract to contract. So he's signing contract to contract. His next one's coming up. This is the window they're in. So they don't have a long time going forward. They have this little window. They have this little window right now. You hire the right coach. You make the right moves. Giannis feels like you're on the right track. Giannis is going to stay.
Agreed.
That part is different than other NBA players. He's not going to go because he wants to go play with his best friend. He's not going to go because he wants to be in a market. But he will go if he doesn't like the direction of the team.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Well, why do you think his brother's been under contract the last 2 seasons,
The Bucks
right?
know what's up. That's why they fired Budenholzer. That's why they're probably going to have to move on from Middleton. And that's why Giannis, I promise you, is involved in any conversation about the roster.
1,000,000%.
So, again, if you think that the Bucks aren't very acutely aware that Giannis can go whenever the hell Giannis wants to go, and that is not beyond the scope of possibility, then you're insane because the Bucks believe that. That's why they fired Budenholzer. That's why they're going to make some roster moves. It doesn't mean Giannis is going to leave for sure. The only reason, this is what separates Giannis from other NBA players. He's not leaving to be with his buddies. He's not leaving to be in a big market. He's not leaving to go live in Miami and sales tax things. He'd leave because he doesn't think the team is a winner. Why did Kobe stay in L.A.? You brought him up earlier. Because the Lakers bent over backwards over and over again to get it done. And you know what? Yeah. He asked for, and there was a trade on the table to the Bulls. He wanted it, and the Lakers said no. So even Kobe Bryant, Giannis's I never go anywhere guy, wanted out. And the Bulls had an offer on the table for Kobe. The Lakers said no.
What happened?
So even him, he wanted out. That was not the player empowerment era. That would have been late in his career, but I think he would have gotten a ring afterwards. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Only 4 teams remain in the NHL playoffs, and 3 former Badgers are still hoping to skate their way to the Stanley Cup Final. Derek Stepan is a center for the Carolina Hurricanes, who are preparing for a semifinal matchup beginning Thursday against the Florida Panthers.
Stepan played with the Badgers from 2008 to 2010. The Dallas Stars are getting ready for a Western Conference showdown with the Las Vegas Knights and hold 2 former Badgers on their roster, including Joe Pavelski and Ryan Suter, who were teammates in 2004 at Wisconsin.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Just look at them. State-of-the-art Honda hybrids, making ecological art out of any conditions they encounter. Rugged, dependable, stylish performance with fuel efficiency and low emissions that'll make a tree hugger blush. What's this phenomenon you're witnessing? It's the future, today. Electrified driving built for Wisconsin. Get your Honda hybrid now at your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Gold medalist Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Wisconsin's best choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors. I know they're the trusted local experts who consider customer service their #1 goal, but don't just take my word for it. Jake and Dawn are both recent customers who left 5-star reviews for the outstanding service and quality of work on their projects. Get a free estimate for your home project today by logging on to ridgetopexteriors.com. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 35% off Emerald products and Super Deck stains May 19th through the 22nd. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
When poison happens, Poison Help is here. We're the free 24/7 hotline that answers your poison questions, with expert advice available at no charge. Make the right call in a poison emergency. Call Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors.
Into your toe to toe. I should be scared, honey, maybe so. But I ain't worried about it right.
Our first Iron Jock poll question: what's more important for the Bucs this offseason, nailing their next head coach hire or revamping the roster with younger talent? Right now, 58% of you say head coach. I'd go with roster. You can win with a coach that's above average. You don't have to have an elite coach. Just ask Coach Budenholzer. To win, you have to have an elite roster and a good coach. Spoelstra, there's not many elite coaches in the NBA. I think Eric Spoelstra is one of them. Greg Popovich is one of them. Steve Kerr is one of them. That might be it. And to me, look at Boston. They fired their coach, and now they're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's about the roster more than anything else and having a capable coach. And if they think one of these guys the Milwaukee Bucks are interviewing, it can be one of those guys that is like unquestionably it and a winner, then you should send them to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Last month alone, over $11 million in jackpots. Go there this weekend. Have a good time. Get some money for Memorial Day. Maybe get yourself on a trip. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. But the Adam Madison chimes in 844-770-3776. Rutledge equals idiot. Strofe equals bad golfer.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'd rather be a bad golfer than an idiot, personally.
I mean, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah,
Call me
that's
an
fair.
idiot. Like, it's factual.
I didn't
you're a
call
bad-
you an idiot.
No, but it's factual you're a bad golfer. Idiot is just subjective. I'm being called an idiot because I don't placate to what everyone wants to hear. And again,
maybe you're just an idiot.
Or I just don't tell you what you want to hear. Because what I'm saying is 100% correct. Now, I want Giannis to stay, and I do believe John Horst won't screw this up. And I don't think they need to win a title to keep Giannis. I think they have to look like a team that can get to the Eastern Conference Finals and make a run for it. When you look at the East, Alex, I don't know what Philly's going to be. I guess we got to always keep Miami on the map because they're doing this without Tyler Hero. He gets healthy. Who knows what they look like going forward. They're always in play for a star. Boston, clearly, as long as they can keep Jaylen Brown, an elite team. But then after that, what are we looking at? So the Bucks they have the benefit of there should not be a really tough Eastern Conference again. And if you have the opportunity to have a weak conference and get your way to the Eastern Conference Finals or NBA Finals, that'll keep Giannis happy. He's not going to Chicago because he wants to go hang out in the big city or because his best friends are there. He won't do that. But he would go there if he thinks that they have a better chance to win. Which right now they're further away than the Bucks by a million, even if you stuck Giannis on the team.
Most teams are.
But
shoot, even teams that are left are further away than the Bucks.
I mean, you put Giannis on those teams, they're probably right there.
Well, yeah, when you put the best player in the world on a team, they're obviously going to be closer.
Actually,
yes.
no, I can't. You cannot say with a straight face they're further away than the Bucks.
You don't think the Lakers are further away than the Bucks
for
going
winning a
forward?
title?
Yeah.
Are we not counting this year? They're literally further along than the Bucks.
Well, yes, I know that, but I'm saying long term.
Next 2 years, they're better positioned.
No, they're not. Than the Bucks?
I mean, you still got LeBron and AD.
Right, but you still have Giannis in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but I don't want to give Giannis too much love there. But and obviously Denver is better positioned, so is Boston. Miami's probably the only one I would say 100% not clearly better positioned, but they have a better coach. For now, we don't know what the Bucks coach will be.
Well, it's going to be hard to be better than Eric Spoelstra, one of the best coaches in NBA history. So,
I mean, I'd rather be the Bucks than the Warriors right now going forward.
Really? That one's such a toss-up to me because they had those down years and they come back and win the title last year and then they have another down year this year.
But their GM is up in the air. Their coach, I think Kerr will be back, but the GM's up in the air. They have Draymond Green up in the air. They have some roster things they have to move.
Jim, I just realized we were almost an hour in and I have not complained about what's really bugging me today. So I'm laying in bed last night trying to watch Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and I have YouTube TV as my provider.
That's a you problem.
It is a me problem, but I've had YouTube TV for years. Never had a problem with it, right?
Cheap.
What? Okay. I flip it on. I started the Conor McGregor documentary that came out on Netflix yesterday. So I watched the first episode of that. Then I flipped on the game in the second half. UFC fighter.
Okay.
Like the Tom Brady of UFC, and I
fighting.
Jesus.
That's what it is.
Can I say a sentence without you interrupting, or are we not doing that today?
No.
And so third quarter, all of a sudden, the Little Mermaid ad plays over and over and over, and I seriously swear to God, it played 10 times in a row. Like 5 minutes worth, right? And then it finally gets back to the game in the fourth quarter, and then it starts skipping in 45-second intervals. It would show me 5 seconds of the game, and I think it was Brian Anderson on the call last night, so it would be Brian Anderson talking, and then it would skip a minute forward in the game. And that happened 6 times. Then there was 33 seconds left in a 4-point game, right before Jimmy Butler hit that huge shot. Stream freezes. It just says TNT is unavailable. And then I can't watch, and then the game's over before I know it. YouTube TV just biffed one of the biggest games of the NBA season thus far, and I couldn't even watch it. And now they're supposed to have NFL Sunday Ticket this season.
Now, more importantly, that was not just a you problem.
I know. It was nationwide. It was everybody in the world.
I was trying to set up a joke. No, it wasn't just a you problem. It was a YouTube problem.
Yeah, good one.
Well, you ruined it. You jumped all over it. You ruined my timing. But is it a TNT problem? Because
no, it's a YouTube TV problem.
Okay, because I had Hulu, and there was some I have Hulu, and there was some screwy stuff with TNT during the NCAA tournament, too. That it would be behind or then skip and catch up.
Yeah, and the only statement YouTube TV made last night was if you have an issue, and this was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, if you're having an issue watching the Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics game on TNT, we're aware of it and our team is working on a fix. Thanks so much for your patience. It's the fourth quarter of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Pressure. YouTube TV's not serious about sports. Remember, didn't they drop ESPN for a day and then they lost a like 30% of their
Well,
subscribers.
they dropped Bally a few years back. They still haven't gotten it back.
Well, Bally sucks. Nobody carries Bally.
Well, yeah, but that's my ability to watch the Bucks
Yeah,
and the
but
Brewers.
that's everyone. Nobody carries that. It's just a bad it's a bad app. It's a bad business model. Like that's literally I don't know anyone that carries Bally.
I mean, I have it. I have it right now because I want to watch the Brewers and the Bucks because I like watching.
But you might
sports.
have like your own app. I'm saying as far as like a service that includes Bally. Like that's a problem with these regional sports. That's why they're all bankrupt. Like YouTube, Hulu, a lot of these services
Well,
like that.
I don't care about how much money they have in the bank,
But
Jim.
that's
I
not-
just want to watch them.
But that's not a YouTube problem. That's a Bally Sports doesn't have a proper way to sell it to these stations problem. But
regardless,
they dropped ESPN more importantly, and that dropped like 30% of their subscribers. They had to bring it back like in a day because they were like, well, maybe we'll just drop ESPN, and then they lost like all of their subscribers. And then obviously they put ESPN like a day later, and then everything was good. It was like right around the bowl season, I believe, too. It was something weird. There was something big happening, and they dropped ESPN for a day. So YouTube is not serious about sports. I just go to Hulu, man.
Meh.
You see? You're sheep. Bah.
Well, I'm just stuck in my own way. But you know how much work that is to switch everything.
So it's
and
funny. The reason
cancel
why
it
you know why I don't have YouTube is that I tried it for like 7 days, and I was like, wait, I can just this isn't even an ad or thing. I was like, I can just get ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu all one cost. I'm like, done.
Used to be an ad.
Right, but
ESPNMadisonBundle.com.
Right.
Does that
But-
still work? I haven't tried it.
I don't know, but I had it before the bundle thing because as soon as I went to it, I'm like, wait, why would I pay YouTube TV? And then I got to get ESPN Plus, and then I got to get Disney Plus. I'll just go to Hulu and get it all right here. So I'm just saying that, like, maybe it's
You get live TV then, too?
Yeah, I do live TV with Hulu, and then ad-free other stuff.
Huh.
And then I get Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. And I
Well,
think I pay like $80.
I'm going to give YouTube TV one more chance. If it happens again, I'm done. Well, they have Sunday Ticket.
You can't. You can buy that. I could get Sunday Ticket ad hoc.
You have to get it through YouTube TV now,
But
starting this year.
Yeah, but you can just buy the. I thought you could just buy the subscription.
Yeah, but but if they're doing this in one game in the Eastern Conference Finals, how can I trust them to run 16 games on an NFL Sunday?
Why are you buying a ticket? You're a Packers fan.
Because I like watching the NFL.
How many games can you watch at once? You're going to watch the Packers. You got the other games.
Well, the Red Zone, and sometimes I'm going to want to watch the Jets
I'm
or the
curious 'cause,
Bears or
like,
the Lions or the Vikings.
You are.
I like keeping tabs.
You are a very interesting test case here because the problem that they've had with the Sunday Ticket sort of thing is that most fans are not really out
You on
of
the
their
board
market.
of directors or what? How do you know all this?
My other job. Most fans are within their market, and so they're not necessarily motivated to spend the kind of money that YouTube TV is charging for DirecTV, or I'm sorry, for the NFL Sunday Ticket. They're not motivated enough to do it because they just say, "I'll watch my team, I'll watch all the other primetime games, and I can watch, I can watch games all throughout the day. I don't have to watch 3 at a time." But not everyone has ADD like Alex Stroh, so I get it. Can I give away some beer?
No, because Ryan has to do a Sports Center and I cannot multitask.
That is very correct.
You hear this? I heard your
That's not a
Sports Center.
shot at him.
I heard your Sports Center. You can't just do a Sports Center and pick up the phone afterwards.
No, because all the calls will drop then.
I
So
mean-
then it's a waste of everybody's time for calling.
Unless
Why do
you
the
want to
calls
hear
drop? They can't
Giannis
just ring?
Well, it only rings a certain amount, and his Sports Center is 90 seconds long, and it's less than 90 seconds. So wait until we come back, and then we'll give away beer.
Get your fingers ready, folks, because as soon as he's done, I'm giving away some beer. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Elkhart Lakes, Wisconsin's Road America. The 2023 season opens May 19th through the 21st with the SVRA Vintage Weekend Festival. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. The Milwaukee Brewers falling 3-0 to the rival Cardinals out in St. Louis last night means the Brewers lost that series 2 out of 3 games to their rivals, the Cardinals. The Brewers now have a day off before heading out to Tampa Bay for a 3-game road series with the Tampa Bay Rays. Brewers currently 1 game ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NL Central standings. Other news out of Milwaukee yesterday as the Bucks interviewed Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Sampson for their open head coaching job. Sampson previously spent some time with the Bucks as an assistant coach. Here's what Adrian Wojnarowski had to say yesterday when talking about the Bucks head coaching search this offseason.
They're casting a wide net in Milwaukee, talking to a lot of different folks, and he profiles differently than the other colleges.
Second hour's Rutledge Hamilton starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got to chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
They're casting a wide net in Milwaukee, talking to a lot of different folks, and he profiles differently than the other college coaches or many others because of that NBA experience.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Let's give away some beer immediately. I promised you I would, and I will do it right now. Strofe, give me a number.
Let's go caller 10 for Jordan Love, my favorite quarterback in the NFL.
Caller number 10, 844-770-3776. Caller number 10 wins a case of Sierra Nevada Little Things Party Pack. You get the Sunny Little Thing, which is a citrus wheat ale. You get the Big Little Thing IPA, which is an Imperial IPA. You get the Hazy Little Thing IPA. And you get the Crisp Little Thing, an easy drinking lager. You get 24 cans, a full case. Call number 10, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. House of D thinks he got me. Rutledge, most football fans watch more than just their favorite team. Rutledge truly is an idiot. Do you watch Packer games, Rutledge? Boom, roasted. House of D, I do watch Packer games, and I don't have to have the Sunday ticket to watch the Packer games. And I don't pay for Sunday ticket for my Bear games because I don't have the time to watch them. What I'll do is, you can watch them back a day later for free. Most of the games realistically are on. So 22 million people had DirecTV last year. 1.3 million of them were Sunday ticket subscribers. So boom, House of D roasted. Some people have it.
Wait, how's that roasting him?
Because that's not a large number. Most people watch the games. Because, again, House of D is missing the point. You watch games.
Well, you said it was weird that I watched more than my favorite team.
No, I said it was weird that you pay to watch more than your favorite team.
Yeah, I want to watch every game. I like watching football.
I don't know how can you do that? Because, you can watch a noon game.
Because they have, a quad screen.
Okay.
So you put 4 games up at once.
But that, again, statistically, is uncommon for people who are in market because you could watch the Vikings play at noon and watch the Packers play at 3 and then watch the Sunday Night Football game.
4% of the DirecTV audience is doing it. I don't think it's uncommon.
I mean, that's but again, 4% that's 4% of the audience overall. Now, how many of them are in
market? People at
DirecTV
that don't like football.
But also, how many are in the market? You're in your home market.
Right. So I get Packers and I get one other game.
Right, but Sunday ticket is designed for people who are in the wrong market. That's their biggest. That's my whole point. That is their biggest audience is people who are not in their home market who want to watch their favorite team. And the big knock now.
But but I get it because I'm a football fan, so I want to watch the Chiefs if they're not on national TV. I want to watch the Jets this upcoming year.
And that's fine and dandy. But my point is, you also can watch, you can be a football fan and watch teams that aren't your own without having Sunday ticket.
I'm
all day long. And that's I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with King Troll House of D. So we're going to move on past that. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. Congratulations, whoever won the Little Things pack. Your favorite quarterback, legitimately?
Has to be. Default. Is your favorite quarterback Justin Fields?
What's that?
Is your favorite quarterback Justin Fields?
No, Patrick Mahomes.
You like Patrick Mahomes more than you like your own quarterback?
He's not my quarterback.
Sure he is.
I like watching Patrick Mahomes play quarterback more than I like watching Justin Fields.
That's not what I asked you. I asked who your favorite quarterback was. I didn't ask who you like watching the most because I'm not going to sit here and say I like watching Jordan Love more than anybody else, but he's my favorite quarterback because he's the quarterback of my team.
I mean, maybe Justin will get there. It's different, though. I wonder how you feel if Justin isn't if Jordan Love isn't any good.
I will feel differently.
And so that's my
Sean
question.
Clifford will be my favorite quarterback.
Mitch Trubisky was not my favorite quarterback. He was for a year. I'm very excited about Justin Fields, but I also just don't want to be misleading here. I'm excited about the potential of Justin Fields, and I'm excited about some of the plays that he makes. But it's also maddening watching him play because he's still a growing quarterback. I don't know what he'll be. But as a fan of a team that did not have great quarterback play, then I would say that your favorite quarterback, is not always the quarterback of your team. Now, Justin Fields is, again, maybe an aberration, but in years past, when Eric Kramer was out there, or Jim Harbaugh, or even Jay Cutler, or Mitch Trubisky, they weren't my favorite quarterback.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So I'm just curious. I wonder if that'll change for Packer fans, because that's just kind of a rite of passage.
We'll find out, I guess.
Okay.
I love my favorite team.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that. Of course you do, even though you'll watch other teams.
Yeah, I try to watch every team, man. I love NFL football. All I do on Sundays, and you'll make fun of me for this because I bet you don't feel the same way, is I sit on my ass beginning at about 11 o'clock. I check my fantasy football lineups from 11 to noon, and then at noon it's go time. It's football until 10:30 p.m. I make a good chip dip or something. I just sit there, have a few Coors Lights, watch football all day. That's all I do in the fall on Sundays, and it's the best thing in my life.
So I will say that when I was younger, probably closer age, I bought Sunday ticket, to watch the Bears play.
Yeah,
you
were in Florida, right?
But also here in Wisconsin. It was when I was younger, it was harder to see games.
Well, they play pretty much every Bears game in market, as long as the Packers aren't playing at the same time these days,
but
right?
That might change now because the Packers were good and the Bears were bad, so it worked out nice that the Packers would get primetime games or the 3 o'clock game and the Bears would have the noon game. And so if they're both equals, it's more of like a happenstance sort of thing. But to my point, Alex, my Sundays, hopefully I remember to set my fantasy lineup. Usually I set
hopefully.
Usually I set
shows how serious you are about that.
I'll usually set it Saturday. But then what it is that at some point, you won't see me tweeting much on Sunday because I'm not usually watching the game live, is that the kids go to bed, I fire up the Packer game, and then if I have time, I'll watch the Bear game.
And that right there is why I don't have kids,
And then I'll watch NFL prime time. And then I'll watch the NFL.
They're still making that, huh?
I don't know if they still will. And then in the morning, I'll watch the Kyle Brandt's Good Morning Football or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my time. So I'll watch the Packers first. Then if I have time, the Bears. Then I'll watch prime time, and then I'll watch the morning show.
There you go. Yeah, no, I'm watching football. I'm locked in, and then it's Sports Center after Sunday Night Football as well.
Yeah,
so it's like a 14-hour day for me.
Yeah,
I love it. It's my favorite.
Man, good for you, man. I'm not saying that's anything wrong with that.
Bachelor lifestyle.
You're not a bachelor.
That's true, but lifestyle. Sunday football. That's all it is.
So what does your significant other do on Sundays?
How nice should I put this? Complain about me watching football all day.
And the juice is worth the squeeze.
Throw it back Thursday on Rutledge and Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Throw it back Thursday on Rutledge and Hamilton.
Right,
it is
guys?
that. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Educator in Madison chimes in. Stroh, if the phone lines were working about as well as your YouTube TV.
Ryan, what's the report on that?
The phone lines were very much working. Chad from Madison is our winner on Throwback Thursday this week. So who is that? Who's complaining about the phone lines not working?
Educator Adam is complaining.
Educator Adam? Well, I don't know, Educator. I mean, I was
Maybe
busy.
you should educate yourself on how to use a phone.
Boom, roasted. Jim is on one today, man. I'll tell you that much. But we are live at the Forward Club at Breese Stevens Field. Forward Madison FC and Union Omaha are participating in their second annual Unified Series, sponsored by the Special Olympic Unified Program. The Special Olympics Unified Sports Program focuses on joining people with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team to promote social inclusion through shared sports training and competition experiences. Both Forward Madison and Union Omaha will field unified squads consisting of Special Olympics athletes coming up on Saturday, June 24th, and again on Saturday, August 12th. Coming up after our show tonight from 4:15 to 4:45, where we are in the Forward Club, there will be the Unified Series press conference and signing day here at the Forward Club, so you can come on out for that. Right now, the Forward Club's open. You can come grab a beer, watch the rest of the show, and then coming up right after us is the press conference and signing day for that Unified Series, the Unified Series, the second annual one between Forward Madison and Union Omaha. Again, the dates on that: Saturday, June 24th and Saturday, August 12th. The one on August 12th here in Madison, the one on June 24th in Omaha.
It's weird that we were talking NBA that the Bucks aren't in it.
Yeah, Final Four. Yeah, again, I mean, that was the case last year, too. So,
strange. And it stinks because they're the 1 seed. And
Yeah.
Not even in the Final
That's
Four.
the beauty of sports postseasons, though, man.
Is it the beauty?
Upsets happen.
Do you like upsets? Maybe this is our secondary Iron Jack poll question. When your team
Of course not.
is the one
Of course not. I mean, I've been through this so many damn times with the Packers, right? Like, look back at last postseason when they were the 1 seed against San Francisco. I'm at that game. I'm freezing. I'm drinking a million Coors Lights, having the time of my life, and then Robbie Gould ends my day. And I straight up sat. I think I've told you the story before. It was like negative 20 degrees outside. I just sat on the cold bleachers with my head in my hands for like 20 minutes. I looked up and everybody was gone.
So it's funny. Like, I don't think people really like upsets because they hate it if it's their team.
Of course, I like upsets.
Right, but
not this one or the last one or any time it's happened to the Packers or the Bucs or the Badgers.
If someone came up to me like, "Hey, man, I know the Packers lost, but hell of an upset, right? That was fun."
I'd probably be like, yeah, you're right.
That was fun,
You're
man.
not wrong.
Right, yeah,
You're
San
not
Francisco,
wrong.
Robbie Gould, what a fun time. Woo, upsets galore. This is awesome.
It happens.
Everyone loves an upset until it happens to your team.
Yeah,
Like
and
Bucs
it's happened probably more to Wisconsin teams than
Wisconsin
anybody else
fans,
in the last decade.
You're lying if you say you like upsets because you're the team that's usually getting upset. What is the Brewers or the Bucks or the Packers? It stinks.
I don't like when you're walking me through my trauma.
Like,
You've done that a lot today.
I like the Bucks and I like the Badgers, so it's not. And the Brewers, I'm indifferent on. So like that one didn't really. Is that your trauma? Like, how big of a Brewers fan are you? Like, was that traumatic for you, or was that just like a thing?
Which one are you referring to?
When they lost to the Dodgers when they were the 1 seed.
Yeah, that one hurt.
You thought you were going to the World Series?
Yeah.
See,
I thought that was the year. And then what was the year where they lost? I think they lost in the wild card because of an outfield error. I'm forgetting who it was off the top of my head.
That was the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals. And then the Nationals went on to win it all, didn't they? Or they got close?
That is exactly correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. So, yeah, like, I'm not the biggest Brewers fan in the world. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watch 162 games.
I'm not calling you out for it. I was just curious. I think baseball's just – there's less of a passion for it than football.
Yeah, I mean, it just drags on, right? Like, there's more urgency in football, and even in basketball, especially college basketball, there's just so much more of an urgency because in college basketball you get 30 games. In the NFL you get 17. So there's an urgency to win.
And there's an urgency in the NBA because your stars are on a clock. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. We're going to throw some stones. Next.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here. Whether I'm inside on the ice curling or outside working up a sweat under the sun, Iron Jock apparel is what keeps me feeling cool and comfortable. The one-of-a-kind Enduratech fabric is designed from the inside out to eliminate odor-causing bacteria. And based in Wisconsin, Iron Jock also created the Enduratech Plus gear to perform both indoors and outdoors. You can go online to ironjock.com and get 25% off your order using code ESPN25. Iron Jock, it's what's inside that matters.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Throw It Back Thursday on Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton is brought to you by Sierra Nevada Little Things. Choose your own adventure with the little things.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
We're live from the Forward Club. You can see us streaming at Jim and Matt on YouTube as well. He's Alex Strofe, not Matt Hamilton. The hair's not as nice. The facial hair's not as nice.
Yeah, at least I actually have the capability to grow a beard. His takes him like years, doesn't it?
And you're younger.
Yeah, significantly.
Yes, old man Matt Hamilton out on vacation. This is actually just vacation this time. He's got a long, he needs a break from all the other non-work things he does here. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
It's a nice little welcome for us here. We have this amazing sign behind us.
This is amazing. I'm just mad it doesn't say Rutledge and Strofe like it should say.
How about Rutledge and Hamilton with Alex Strofe? Sometimes.
Yeah, that's not good enough for me.
60% of the time.
No, it should say Rutledge and Strofe with Matt Hamilton sometimes. Is actually what it should say.
60% of the time, Matt Hamilton works.
100% of the time, yeah.
Is he even working when he's here? 60% of the time when Matt Hamilton's
60% of the time when he's here, 100% of the time, he is 60% engaged.
Let's throw some stones.
The guys think they have the answers to everything.
I'm the best there is. People like me.
So it's time to put them to the test.
That's some booty, Jim.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
So I think it's my time. Oh, there we go. There's the music. All right, this is my first time hearing Throwing Stones with the new intro music. Well done, Stroke.
Well, listen to the show, would you?
Okay.
It's the fourth time it's been played.
I've heard it, but this is my first time actually being here when it's in. It's my first time.
Now, you said it's my first time hearing it. That was the direct quote, which means you don't listen to the show. So I don't know why you're here.
No,
Alex is ornery today.
I'm ornery today.
No.
You are. I'm the ornery one here today. Are you kidding me? Now I'm ornery after you said that. Listen to yourself.
It's not
just me. You're ornery.
Oh, I'm the ornery one.
Yes.
Unbelievable. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Who's yelling at you for no good reason? It's ornery Alex Strofe.
Okay, I would agree. Strofe is rather ornery today. And it's not that I don't listen to the show. Wow. It's just that I misspoke again. Either way, it's time
done
to
that a few times today.
Oh, not only just a few times. Today. Every day. Each and every day, though, I also waste a lot of time scrolling Twitter. And that leaves me with a lot more questions and answers. And instead of answering those questions, I look to Jim and Strofe for answers. I'll score the answers throughout, and then we'll crown a king of throwing stones. So, obviously, Victor Wembanyama presumed to be the number one overall draft pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Chris Broussard of Fox Sports, known for some of his better hot takes, said, if Wemby is AD, that's Anthony Davis, KD, Kevin Durant, or Hakeem Olajuwon, that would be a disappointment. Jim, would you agree that would Wemby living up to just those standards not be enough, given all the hype he's had? Jim, I'll start with you.
No. If he's a Hall of Famer, he's lived up to the hype. What is happening right now? I mean, because first of all, at some point it gets subjective, as we all know with the Jordan and LeBron and Kobe conversation. It's subjective at some point. If you get into the Hall of Fame as the number 1 overall pick, you did it. You were worth it. He doesn't control the hype. If you are the number 1 pick and you get into the Hall of Fame, you were well worth it. I'll go as far to say it's not like Andrew Bogut or Big Dog Robinson were bad picks for the Bucks. They could have had better ones, but for the grand scheme of things, there have been some horrendous number 1 picks that don't get a second contract. So if Victor gets if he becomes a Hall of Famer, he did it. He won. Throw him a parade.
Yeah, that's an absurd take. He just compared him to 3 championship-level players and called it a disappointment. 3 Hall of Fame players
and that was
at that. And he threw the greatest scorer of all time, the scorer of the basketball, and Kevin Durant in there. Like, if Victor Wembanyama is Kevin Durant, I'd call that a pretty damn good career. Now, minus maybe some of the second-place MVP votings he took while he was in Oklahoma City. But seriously, I mean, I understand the hype is the most it's been since LeBron was drafted 20-some years ago. But that would not be a disappointment. That would be an outstanding career and absolutely living up to it.
Now, I've heard him described as a cross between Ralph Sampson and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a hell of a basketball player, but like, if he was
if
he's David Robinson or Tim Duncan and does for San Antonio what they did for San Antonio, huge success.
This is how absurd the hype is, right? It's not like I'm much watching overseas prospects, but I've known about Victor Wembanyama since last year's draft, right? Like, that's absurd. I didn't know who Giannis Antetokounmpo was until the Bucks drafted him in 2013.
I'm usually an anti-hype guy, but watching Victor play, it is. I mean, when
he's absurd.
When he missed the 3 and grabbed
with one hand and threw it down?
Off his own rebound.
Yeah.
He caught it. The one thing with Giannis that I'll give myself a slight pat on the back for.
You giving yourself a pat on the back. Rare air here.
When he was picked.
People like me.
When he was picked, I said, I like this pick more than picking just some college guy. I didn't know because it was a great lottery pick. Like, it was like, why not? Where they were picking, just take the guy and see what he develops into.
Yeah, exactly like the Packers did with Jordan Love, right? Just see what the guy is. Just see what he turns into. And that's what the Packers did by trading up the draft Jordan Love.
There you go.
It's a great pick.
So,
Giannis and Jordan Love, Ryan, 2 peas in a pod.
Ryan, so we have it. We can quote Alex Strofe on that if Jordan Love is not the Giannis of the Green Bay Packers, he is a failure.
Yeah,
right,
throw it up.
There you go.
That's the quote.
There you go, the Christmas start of the show. Congratulations.
Yes, if Jordan Love is not the next Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he is a failure. Yes, that's correct.
If Jordan Love isn't like Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, or Drew Brees, it's a failure.
Combined.
That's what Chris Broussard said about Wembanyama. That's insane to me.
I mean, it's not because Jordan Love is nowhere close to the prospect.
I know.
But still, yeah.
It's pretty much the same idea.
So another place for crazy takes other than Twitter is oftentimes TikTok. The people in Montana won't be seeing that anymore after their governor signed the country's first bill that outright bans TikTok. That paves the way for a legal fight that could determine the fate of nationwide prohibition that is under consideration in Washington, D.C. So, guys, do you think the American public would be better off without TikTok, or is this all just going too far? Strofe, I'll start with you.
So this is coming from somebody who is without a doubt addicted to social media, being me. Yes, we would all be a hell of a lot smarter if social media didn't exist. We a lot less screen time. Think about our youth, right? I sound like an old man right now, but think about our youth. They're not on the phone in passing period at high school or on their phone during class in high school. Oh my goodness, think about the books that would be read. I mean, we would be producing future presidents left and right if TikTok didn't exist. But however, is it very fun? Yes. Would I be sad if it got banned? Yes. And I don't like Montana's doing this.
Obviously, that's really stupid, but I would say this, that, Alex, we know what life would be like without TikTok or social media.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
We don't produce a lot of that. There's only one. We can only have one president every 4 years. So there's a limit on how many presidents we could produce. But maybe if you weren't on TikTok all the time, you would know these things.
Exactly. Thank you for proving my point.
But I would say this. The problem is not the social media. It's either the parents or the person. So I will go back to that. There's positives to social media. There's positive for the internet. but you have to have self-control, and your parents have to help you when you're younger. Institute self-control.
Yeah.
And that is the problem.
I had great parents, but I lack self-control.
I'm not knocking your parents, but I'm saying.
I'm not knocking my parents either. They did the best they could with this. Cool.
Well, good transition. Anyways.
That's all I got on that.
So my final stone here today is that it is time to say goodbye to a well-known classic ride. The Wienermobile's name has been retired. The Wienermobile from Oscar Mayer Wiener. The beloved Wienermobile.
I told you he doesn't listen to the show.
Gosh darn it.
What?
Ryan,
we did 2 segments on this yesterday.
Two segments?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll admit, I was in meetings yesterday. I did miss the show yesterday.
You know what? You can podcast the show. You can listen back Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. It's brought to you by Revive Restoration. You can go to RevivePros.com. You need mold remediation. You have smoke damage, water damage, or you just got gunk in your ears. Go to
not even in his ears, his eyes. He said he spends all his time on Twitter. There's clips about us talking about this on Twitter.
You're right. Jeez, Wollersheim. But not enough with Revive Pro.
What's your question?
Well, now I don't really have a question. I don't know where to go with it anymore other than asking, are you guys sad to see the Wienermobiles go?
No, I'll say this. Matt's reaction to this yesterday, what is his deal? Who cares?
I care.
Why do you care?
Because what is it called? The Frankmobile now?
Yeah.
It's
Brian?
called, yes, it is called the Frankmobile.
Yeah, we all know it as it's just like a lot of things, right? Like the Staples Center in L.A. will always be the Staples Center, and the Wienermobile will always be the Wienermobile.
Kind of proving my point. They can call it whatever they want. You're still going to call it the Wienermobile. They're not going to
Yeah, but they're painting it on the side now. So that's the change they're making, because it doesn't say the Wienermobile on the side of the Wienermobile, but now it's going to say the Frankmobile on the side in big letters because of the rebrand, which is just stupid to me. But you're right, and nobody's going to call it that.
They should have gotten it like a Ford and called it like the Frank Ford.
If they called it
something
the racing Wiener, that would have been funny. I would have been fine.
Clearly, they wanted to get rid of Wiener, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but they're still called all all beef Wieners. That still says it on their packaging.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why do you
our buddy Pat Richter used to be very high up at Oscar Mayer. I got to call him and ask him what the hell's going on here.
But why do you care, man?
Because it's such a staple of my childhood. I was so excited in 3rd grade when I was in music class, and my music teacher was like, "Hey, come out to the parking lot. I got to show you guys something." And we got to tour it.
They showed you
it's
the
like,
Wiener?
whoa, it's the Wienermobile. Yeah, they showed us the Wiener, and they gave us the Wiener whistles that Matt was talking about yesterday. Yeah, this is a sad day. It's a sad day in Wisconsin history.
I'm probably wrong, but I have no childhood memories of the Wienermobile. I honestly could not remember it existed until it showed up in front of our office last year. At the Spark Building.
That's right.
The Everlight Solar Studios. That was it. It's the last time I remember it existing.
Well, it still exists. So.
No, it doesn't. It's the Frankmobile. What is it?
That's true.
Frankfurters are the name of the drivers now as well.
They used to be hot doggers?
Hot doggers, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Was a great name.
That is a great name.
But
why
anyway,
they change hot
I don't know that I'd want to be called a hot dogger, though.
Frankfurter.
If that was my job title, right? How would that look at a resume? A hot dogger at Oscar Mayer Wiener Co.
Hot dogger, driver of the Wienermobile.
Yeah, that'll get you far.
I'd interview.
Apparently, it was I don't think they would hire you. I think it was a pretty sought after internship.
They offered they offered internships during my senior
year.
year.
What's wrong with me?
You're just not elite.
I am
You're
elite.
not Wiener material. You're
I'm
not.
sitting right next to you, pal. What does that say about you?
I didn't say I was either.
Strofe may not be that elite, but he is today's winner of throwing
Let's go,
stones.
baby. That's a W. Good for me. Honored to win throwing stones. Wiener. The Madison Mallards guy does that. Whenever there's a foul ball, he just yells the word Wiener, right? Is he gonna say Frank now? Frank. That doesn't hold the same weight.
Why would he do that?
Because apparently we can't say Wiener anymore.
Who said that?
Oscar Mayer said that. They changed the name of their vehicle.
They said they don't want to call their vehicle Wiener anymore. They didn't say Alex Strofe couldn't say Wiener anymore.
Well, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the Mallards, PA guy.
Did they tell? Was that in the press release? Did I miss that somewhere? That the Mallards can't say Wiener?
Yeah,
you and your slippery slope, man. This is Rutledge
I love
Hamilton,
a good slippery slope.
Presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Just look at them. State-of-the-art Honda hybrids, making ecological art out of any conditions they encounter. Rugged, dependable, stylish performance with fuel efficiency and low emissions that'll make a tree hugger blush. What's this phenomenon you're witnessing? It's the future today. Electrified driving built for Wisconsin. Get your Honda Hybrid now at your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Gold medalist Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Wisconsin's best choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors. I know they're the trusted local experts who consider customer service their #1 goal, but don't just take my word for it. Jake and Dawn are both recent customers who left 5-star reviews for the outstanding service and quality of work on their projects. Get a free estimate for your home project today by logging on to ridgetopexteriors.com. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Join the Prairie Athletic Club and spring forward your membership today. Hi, it's Sarah Tauscher. The PAC is the best place to get your family moving this year. Not a member? Not a problem. The PAC welcomes guests daily. Come see for yourself why the PAC is voted best place to work out and best thing for kids to do year after year. Save now until the end of May when you join the PAC. Visit prairieathletic.com to join the PAC today. That's prairieathletic.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. I don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
In a land carved by glaciers and shaped by champions, Trapper's Turn is a specialty golfing experience. 27 holes designed by two-time U.S. Open champion Andy North present an enjoyable challenge at any level. Nestled between beautiful pines, the all-new 12 North Par 3 course offers the ultimate in golfing fun. Refuel and unwind with year-round dining in the heart of the picturesque Dells. Golf time is precious. Spend it somewhere beautiful. This is Trapper's Turn. Book your tee time at trappersturn.com.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
We continue live from the Forward Club. This is a cool spot, Alex Strofe. He's Alex Strofe. I'm Jim Rutledge. Coors Light flowing here. Got our signage up. Great place to have a Coors Light, watch a Forward game. Hang out anytime, really.
You can have a private party, too, here. Anybody can. I was in the restroom. They got a QR code on the soap dispenser that says you can rent the party here. It's a great spot. I was here a couple weeks back when they did the kit release for Forward Madison FC. We were taking in all the vibes. It was a crowded house, and they revealed the kits for this year. And they just revealed some new alternate kits. Did you see these, Jimmy? They're like lime green with like some crazy pink design. Forward FC, unmatched in terms of the uniform game when it comes to any team in Wisconsin. I'm talking professional, semi-pro, college, high school. Nobody does uniforms better than Forward FC. They are top-notch. I got my pink hoodie on today. I saw Ryan Wollersheim back in the Everlight Solar Studio. He's rocking his kit from Ryan. You were an intern here a couple summers ago, right?
Yes, 2 summers ago I was an intern for Forward. It was in the tickets department, yeah. Yeah, it's a great
So
spot.
you're out there selling tickets or what?
I was hawking tickets. I was calling people. I was helping with their tickets online. I was in the box office on game day. It was a very much do everything type of job for sure. But I really enjoyed it. It was one of my best summers of my life for sure.
There you go, attaboy.
Way more
Good
than
stuff.
you enjoy summers.
Yeah,
ESPN.
no doubt about that. I mean, if you got to work with Jim Rutledge, I mean, come on. But hey, I'll tell you this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I know you can relate to this, even though you're not a Packers fan. Is we are at the point of the off season where the training camp darlings are already kind of starting to be revealed, and we still got like 2 months till training camp. I guess everybody was just gushing about 7th-round pick from last year, Samori Toure today. Put on 8 pounds. He was always flashy in his one season at Nebraska. They expect him to make a huge jump in 2023, and there may be no bigger opportunity on the Packers roster right now than the wide receiver position. So I just love seeing positive propaganda. Like, this is the time of year where you could just feed me, and it could be total BS. It could be total bologna sausage. But
fire up the Amari Rodgers story.
Yeah, right. I mean, Amari Rodgers, right? All the propaganda around him over the years. But give me all the training camp darling propaganda in the world. I'll eat it up for the next 2 months until we actually get to real, tangible plays on the practice field in Green Bay at the end of July. But I love this propaganda. So I during the break, I just read this long article by my buddy Paul Brettel at the Packers Wire about Samori Toure and how all the assistant coaches on offense are gushing about him. Love to see it.
Yeah. So what? He'll have 25 catches?
Yeah, he had what? I think he had 3 or 5 last year. He had 1 touchdown. But no, I mean,
that would be an amazing jump for him to
Totally.
go from 5 to 25 catches.
Totally. I mean, it was a 7th-round pick a year ago.
Yeah.
So to actually have some real results on the football field, which he'll have, again, he'll have plenty of opportunity to do that this year.
We should do some future bets on this because I think 25 catches, 350 yards, and 2 touchdowns would be a hell of a season for a 7th-round pick.
I'd honestly take it, right? But it depends, and we'll dive. I mean, over the course of the next 2 months, we'll talk plenty about that wide receiver room. But it's wide open, right? Christian Watson's the wide receiver 1. That might be all you know, right? Like you probably expect Romeo Doubs to be 2. Jaden Reed probably comes in somewhere around there as a 2nd-round pick this year. Hopefully he has the big splash like Christian Watson had a year ago. But I'm ecstatic to see how this plays out. It might be really bad. It might be a 3-14 team, but I'm excited to see something. It's brand new.
Here's the interesting part to it, that it goes back to Jordan Love here. And so what does every team do, even with is it fair to say that, like, Christian Watson and Darnell Mooney coming into last year, similar receivers? Darnell Mooney, actually, he was more proven.
Well, right, because he had time in the NFL, which obviously Christian Watson did
because,
not.
like, Chicago said, hey, we got Darnell Mooney, and then we're going to slot a bunch of young guys in behind him and kind of see who fits. And then he got hurt. But my point being that every team, when they want a quarterback to really make the jump and to really be good, you go get a guy that's open. And the domino effect of that, what, A.J. Brown with Philadelphia, and then you have DJ Moore, Chicago just acquired, but Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen. And the Packers haven't done that with Jordan Love. And we were kind of hitting at this the other day when we were at University Ridge, that usually for success, you need to have a guy that and this is the question I have for Christian Watson. I love his ceiling. I still think he's a year away from it.
I think you're right.
He's not a precise route runner. I think that
he's shifty, though.
Right, but you look at some of the top receivers and their ability to always get open. Now, LaFleur will be able to help him with them.
Yep.
But it starts with this domino effect of Christian Watson. If he doesn't always need a double team, which is rare. You don't usually double team a receiver. So, and if he isn't always, like, Jordan Love's job is a lot easier if he knows Christian Watson's open every time I'm going to throw him the ball. That's not fair to ask of Christian Watson this year. And so right down there, everything gets harder for everyone because you don't have – we saw it last year with the Packers. Forget even the veteran guy. So I just worry that I think all these guys are going to make jumps, but I still wonder if their jump is as big as it could have been or should be if you didn't have more guys who know how to do their job in the room. And that's what I keep on coming back to of, like, yes, I think you have every right to be excited about capped. A 7th-round pick if Samori Toure goes out and catches 25 passes, 350 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's a hell of a find for the Packers. Like, that's a really amazing ceiling. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's the one of one, but more likely, that's a great place for him to be. And then, Dobbs could be a nice 40-catch guy, and Watson. I think in 2 years can be a 1,500, 1,600-yard receiving guy. I don't know how many catches, but and double-digit TDs. And maybe he gets there this year. But all these things are projecting out. And I just still worry that not only are they not putting Jordan Love in the position to succeed, that if Christian Watson is never double-teamed, that means Romeo Doubs has always got someone. Like, nobody gets the benefit of having a guy who shifts defense to one side, who can make Jordan Love's job easier. It all falls on LaFleur and then Jordan Love. So you just made everyone's life harder by adding no one this year. And if it works, it'll work. And it doesn't mean it's going to stunt their growth. But, again, I just feel like wins are going to be hard to come by because you're really putting everyone in the position where they have to be elite in their growth.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on that last part, right? Like, it's not going to stunt their growth. In fact, it probably only helps their growth, even if this team is awful, right? I'm talking 2-15, 3-14, 4-13 bad. They're competing for the number 1 overall pick. Jordan Love just kind of looks But these receivers, I mean, the opportunity is theirs. This is by far the youngest roster in the NFL. It is the only team in the NFL without a wide receiver that's played at least 4 years, right? The oldest, most experienced wide receivers on the Packers roster are Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Samori Toure, who were all rookies a year ago. So it is just a brand-new team. It is a brand-new look offense. And, yeah, it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit exciting. It's a lot of unknown. But there is something to be excited about, and that is that this young core can hopefully, and I know hope isn't a strategy, but this young core can hopefully grow together and really be something powerful in 2024.
You're Mr. Watch All the NFL Game guy. Rutledge's Idiot guy number 8 chimes in. I don't know if it's the same guy or if it's a different guy. Mooney would have a hard time making the third wide receiver position for the Packers this year.
I disagree with that.
He's the number 2.
Yeah, he's the number 2.
Last year he was injured and didn't play all the year. He had 40
Is he back in Chicago?
Yeah. Okay. He's a number 2 or 3. 40 catches, 493, 2 touchdowns. He played about half the year. Do you know what he did, though? This is why I asked. Do you know what he did in 2021?
No idea.
And this is with Andy Dalton throwing on the football, a little bit of field. 81 catches for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the opportunity right there for a guy like Christian Watson, right? When you don't have anybody to compete against that's really going to take over your number 1 role, the opportunity is just endless as long as he stays healthy.
But when Mooney was there, they had other players around.
Who was there in 21?
He was their third receiver. I don't know off the top of my head, but he was a guy that worked his way up because they were able to scheme him. And this is what the thing with Watson last year, they were able to kind of move him around.
Especially over that 5-game stretch, right?
Yeah, and so, like,
You do lose that ability.
This is not a knock on Watson. It's just I love his ceiling. Like, I think he can be some sort of DK Metcalf type of guy. But DK Metcalf had Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. And then you just...
Well, hold on. Do you mean that statistically? Because, like, size-wise, that doesn't add up at all.
Yes. Well, speed and statistically.
Okay, gotcha,
like a big play guy. That's what I see of. Like, I don't see him as Devontae Adams 2.0 because Devontae was such an elite route runner, but
that took time though, right? Like Devontae struggled in his first couple of years.
Struggled with drops.
Struggled with drops. He was always a good route runner, better than Watson for sure at the beginning of his career. But it took a lot of time for Devontae to develop into the freak of an athlete he is now and the best receiver in the NFL.
The reason why I go with now there's the weight thing, but Watson 6'5", 207, DK Metcalf 6'4", 236. I think Watson would benefit by putting on more weight over time. So could Watson get to 6'5", 220? That's a beast. Yeah. And I think he can get there. And then I think he can start putting up numbers that are similar to DK Metcalf with 90 catches, 1,000 yards, and 2021, 12 touchdowns to DK Metcalf. Like, that's where I see Watson getting to.
I love that. I mean, again, it's such a weird year. And the opportunity at that position means you're going to have somebody, just by default, you're going to have somebody that flies under the radar and probably has a 800-yard season because somebody needs to catch the ball. We said this a lot last year, right? Like, we knew Allen Lazard was the number 1 receiver for the Packers, and it helped you at Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, but you knew somebody had to step up at some point, and that turned out to be Christian Watson for a good stretch of the season. But I feel the same way I do that I did last year, right? Allen Lazard was not a number 1 receiver to me. Christian Watson, NFL-wide, is not a number 1 receiver to me.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Nitty Gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and the official birthday place. Enjoy a unique list of craft cocktails and craft beer in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968. Only 4 teams remain in the NHL playoffs, and 3 former Badgers are still hoping to skate their way to the Stanley Cup Final. Derek Stepan is a center for the Carolina Hurricanes, who are preparing for a semifinal matchup beginning Thursday against the Florida Panthers. Stepan played with the Badgers from 2008 to 2010. The Dallas Stars are getting ready for a Western Conference showdown with the Las Vegas Knights and hold 2 former Badgers on their roster, including Joe Pavelski and Ryan Suter, who were teammates in 2004 at Wisconsin.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. Take advantage of 4.99% APR financing for up to 60 months on select new 2023 models. See dealer for details and exclusions. $18.87 a month per $1,000 finance. No down payment required. To qualify buyers through Audi Financial Services. Offer ends May 31st. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see the current inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Simbrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Matt Hamilton here for Ridgetop Exteriors, and I want to tell you about the best quality roofs, windows, siding, and doors that they can provide. I was hanging out with Bo from Ridgetop, and he was showing me all the neat ways you can customize some of these projects, from different types of siding, windows, and the doors. All of these things are customizable, as well as your payment plan. They have no interest and low interest financing available, so you can go online right now to ridgetopexteriors.com and get your free estimate on your next home project. That's ridgetopexteriors.com.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
North and South Seafood and Smokehouse is the official barbecue and seafood and smokehouse of Rutledge and Hamilton. Make sure to listen every Wednesday for your chance to win a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Madison, Verona, and DeForest. North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. Looking for a team to play for in the spring and summer of 2024? Rays tryouts begin in July and August, and signups are open now. Since 2010, the Rays have developed over 370 college players, including over 140 players committed to Division I baseball and 17 MLB draft picks. Rays baseball. Raise your game.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to University Ridge Golf Course in Madison, Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. AmFam Champ Week will also include an exciting concert featuring Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line, Friday, June 9th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I should be dancing the pain away, the pain away.
Nick in Madison asked who was getting double teamed last year that opened things up for Watson. But last year, the Packers had a few different options, whether it was Cobb and then Lazard and Tunyon. They were able to scheme Watson open with and you also had Aaron Rodgers, who could also make some things on the fly. And Watson is a developing player. Nobody's saying that Christian Watson won't put up good numbers this year. The point being is
he wasn't the defense priority.
He was exactly.
Right. And he will be this year, or he will be one of them, right? I mean, Aaron Jones will still obviously be the priority of opposing defenses, but Christian Watson will be other weapon, tight end or wide receiver weapon number one.
Well, and the other question, and I don't look, there's so many. The NFL it's so hard to score points, especially when you don't have Aaron Rodgers. And maybe Jordan Love turns out to be a really good player, or just he could turn out to be a good NFL quarterback, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you. What happens? They have an entire offseason now, the NFL does, to kind of figure out what Christian Watson does well. And now they know, wait, we can do some things to Christian Watson, and maybe we make his life a little bit harder. And like, for an example, he had a great game against the Lions his last game. 5 catches, 104 yards. He had 1 catch against the Vikings. He had 6 catches for only 49 yards against the Dolphins. He had 4 catches for 46 against the Rams. And then he had, 3 catches. He had a touchdown and 48 against the Bears. Like, he had a few. He had the Philadelphia blow-up game. He had the Dallas blow-up game.
Yeah.
And he had the Detroit blow-up game. The rest of the season was pretty pedestrian. And he will, again, I'm not saying Christian Watson won't get there, but that was Christian Watson with the benefit of having other playmakers around him, and he had 3 explosive games and then pedestrian at best the rest of the way. I mean, of his 400 yards receiving, 325 of them came in 3 games.
5 games, but yeah.
I'm talking at 103, 107, 110, 104.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
So I got it right in front of me. I'm not always right on my staff, but when they're right in front of me,
when they're right in front of you, I'm glad you're good at
now,
math.
Rip
Hold on.
Verona chimes in. The Packers receiving core reminds me of a Met NBA team that they lose a star to injury. You're going to get to the numbers you need to get to, and they'll have a 1,000-yard receiver, but still they win 5 to 6 games. That's possible. Maybe.
I agree with that.
But you don't have to look far to say that they could spread the ball around. Christian Watson misses 3 games. Now he doesn't get 1,000.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Who cares about a 1,000-yard receiver?
Okay, hold on real quick, Jim. I just saw this on Twitter, so I want to listen to it. So Aaron Jones was doing like a Q&A thing, it looks like back in Texas. And somebody in the audience said the Packers aren't very good. Jones responded with, "Are you an analyst?" and then said this, but again, I haven't heard it. So here's Aaron Jones earlier today.
You say a professional sports team is not that good. Are you good enough to play on that team? And I'm not calling you out. And I hope one day if you play sports, you are good enough to play at that level. But
I'm out.
I understand, but you got to have respect, too, for people.
You do, too, Aaron. I don't like that. That's like, what was it?
I love that. I love a little sass from Aaron Jones. He's sick of hearing that all offseason.
You like him with the lamest response of, like, you couldn't play football. Yeah, you're right, I can't. But you can't analyze, and I can. And I like Aaron Jones. I just don't like that response. It's like, was that Clay Matthews? Like, well, come down here and say it to my face. I'm not challenging you to a fight. I just said you weren't as good at football as you used to be. It's just I love Aaron Jones. He usually says really good things. That's just unnecessary. To take a shot at a fan, because he didn't even make it personal. He said, didn't he say analyst say, or what did he say?
He said he asked if you were an analyst of an NFL.
No, what did the player say to Aaron Jones?
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. What did the fan say to Aaron Jones that triggered him?
He said the Packers aren't very good.
That's exactly what the fan said?
Correct. That's quoted by Lori Nickel of the
And he could just go what Big Lebowski says, and like that's just like your opinion, man.
He could, but I mean, he's being honest. He's holding the kid in his arms.
Oh no, I didn't get, but like he's not being honest.
Wild.
He's being aggressive. Of like you couldn't play football, so like don't.
That's what he said. He said, "Have you? Are you good enough to play professional sports?"
Yeah,
which is a fair question.
No, it's a jerk response. It's fine. Aaron Jones has earned the right to be. He has been a great guy all the way around. That is a not thought out response. It is a baby response.
But also, like, is that a good thing to say to somebody who's a guest speaker at a charity event?
No, the other person could be wrong too. But Aaron Jones is a paid professional athlete. You just don't say it back. Of like, I will call out anyone, any athlete. If Michael Jordan said that, anyone says that. It's the old thing Ned Yost used to say when they asked him a question about a baseball thing. He said, if you understood the game or ever played it at all, well, that's not how it works. In this case, this person, not an analyst and not someone who is paid to do it, it's just a fan sharing their opinion, Aaron. Just let them have their opinion. They're wrong.
It's a bad opinion.
Is it, though? It's kind of the
Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year, Jim.
All right.
Sooner you accept that.
Maybe I'll play in the NFL.
Yeah.
I work out of Carbon World Health. I take the semi-glutide.
To keep your glutes tight.
I am, around 10% body fat. That's kind of NFL level, 10% body fat.
Oh, come on.
Realistically.
You're a little bit too old to be in the NFL. I apologize.
How old is Tom Brady when he wrapped up? I work out of Carbon World Health. Maybe you can, too. If you're younger than me, maybe get yourself in the NFL. NFL players have gone there. Plenty of NFL players have gone there. Nick Collins has gone there plenty and used the cryo over there. So go to Carbon World Health. Try the cryo. Try the recovery. Take semi-glutide. Thanks to everyone who's come out. Try the 6-week experience at Carbon World Health. This has been Rutledge Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Are you dreaming of a new look? Let the pros at 5 Star Painting bring color to your world, to your interior, exterior, cabinets, and more. We make it easy